To make this shape, we're going to use a combination of skills. We're going to be dragging to make copies that have the same spacing, using transform each to make smaller versions of these circles that still have the same centers as the original. Then we're going to unite some background circles into one continuous shape. You can see that we have a continuous stroke along the side, so it's one shape. And we're going to selectively round some corners. So let's start this one by going to our ellipse tool, and let's make some circles that overlap with each other this time. So I'm going to make a single circle, go over to my regular black selection tool. As I drag sideways, I'm going to hold down Option on the Mac or Alt on the PC and leave these overlapping at the edges. I let go, it makes a copy. I'm going to hit Command D or Control D on the PC to transform again, do it again. Now I've got my 4 background circles that are all overlapping. I want to make copies that have the same center but are smaller. To do that, I'm going to go up to Object and transform each rather than transforming as a whole group. So I go up to transform each. I want to kind of see this as I make my modifications, so I'm going to hit the preview box. These I want to be smaller, so let's say if I went down to 70%, I think that looks like a good reduction. And I want to make a copy as I do this, so I keep my originals on the screen. So I hit copy. Now I've got new smaller circles with the same centers. I'm going to make these slightly darker so that I can see them against the background. Now I want to do the same thing again, do the same reduction. All I have to do is hit Command D or Control D on the PC, and it does the same transformation over again, and I paint those black. All right, now we need to combine these background circles. So I'm going to drag over the edge and just intersect those background circles, highlight those, and I'm going to go down to the Pathfinder palette. The one on the selection on the left here is called Unite. If I hover over it, I can see it. I hit Unite, and now all of these circles are combined into a single shape. Now you notice it covered over some of the background ones. The new shape comes forward a bit sometimes. So I'm going to highlight this, I'm going to right click on it and do Arrange, Send to Back. And that will send it to the backmost layer, and now I can see all my front circles again. So I'm getting pretty close. Now if I look back at my original, I've got a stroke on the outside. I can go ahead and add that now. So I'll put a black stroke on it, maybe make it a little bit thicker with the controls up here so I can see it better. But I still have these pointy corners in between. So to round out those corners, we're going to use the direct selection tool, the white arrow, and any of these anchors that I select, I can get this little rounding circle, drag up, and get them to round out. I'm going to undo that though because I want to do these all at once so they're exactly the same. So if I want to add to this selection, because it's kind of hard to use this and drag around a rectangle, I can select 2 at once, but not all of these. I'm going to click on one, I'm going to hold down Shift and keep it held down and manually select all of these nodes. So I've got all these corners selected at once. Now when I drag up, I round out all of them at the same time and I get my final shape.